Vikings honor your name. Go get that first down, then get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run out the score. You'll hear us yell for more. V-I-K-I-N-G-S. SKOL Vikings, let's go.
Choo-choo, the A train will run right through it.
Viking Nation, prepare to enter Valhalla with the most entertaining podcast of the Minnesota Vikings. And now, Odin's Den with A-Train and the Hammer.
Oh, baby, we're back. I don't have anything after the intro this week. We'll just cut right to the chase and start crying right now.
A-Train, how the hell are you?
I mean, I'm all right. Could be better, could be worse, you know. I'm all right.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
There's another Vikings loss in the books if you're living under a rock. So we'll go over it and cover it. Obviously, it's why you tuned in.
This was a tough one.
To laugh, to cry, to hear the hammer drone on.
Oh, always.
How the hell are you over there, Haber?
I'm hanging in there.
Did you watch the game last night? It was on NBC. Did you watch it at a restaurant?
I didn't watch it at a restaurant, but I was at a friend's house, and me and a couple buddies were watching it. How about you?
Same thing. Couple of cooler buddies. We had some Aldi's pizzas and some snacks. And, we just sat and cried and, you know.
Normally, I would take exception to that, but I've met your other friends, and they are cooler, so I'll go ahead and concede that I am not worthy of your other
Don't step on the
friends,
tracks, motherfucker.
Choo-choo, the A train will run right through it.
I'll run right through anybody else you throw at me, buddy. All right. You know, it was a good game. It was a fun game.
Definitely an entertaining game.
Yeah, it was October 11th. It was Sunday Night Football. I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. I always like it when we're on Sunday Night Football. It's nice to get a win. I don't know how many times we've won on Sunday Night Football, but we almost strutted into the Seahawks home turf minus their 12th man.
Well, Sunday Night Football has kind of
ass.
become what Monday Night Football used to be.
Yeah, everybody's all hype about that. Probably because it was all weird and new at the time.
Yeah, well, what happened to Monday Night Football? It's just nowhere near what it used to be.
It's a fucking Monday, man.
Well,
Sunday you got work the next day, kind of winding down the weekend, but like it's a Monday. Who likes fucking Mondays? I mean, they're not all bad for you because you don't even fucking work your day job. But most people are like, fucking Monday.
But Monday Night Football was huge.
Actually, you could look at it like it'll help you get through a shitty Monday. Oh, I got football tonight. Monday sucks. I got to wake up. I got to go to work. It's back to a fresh week. But you could be like, football will put a smile on my face tonight as everything else puts a frown on my face.
I'd have to look into how many years in a row it was.
Choo-choo, the A train will run right through it.
Oops. Oh, I'm just hitting all my drops.
Wow.
My fingers are hitting the keyboard.
Boy, A-Train is fat fingering it over there. My goodness.
They better give me a raise on this pod card. I'm doing great work.
Bitch, better have my money.
Yeah, bitch, better have
Monday
my
Night
money.
Football was the highest rated program on ABC for countless years in a row.
That's because
there you
ABC
go.
sucks. Got you there, bitch.
Moving on.
All right. But yes, it was another loss. We will get into that. Before we get into that, this is episode 115 of Odin's Den. I am at Atron. That's Hummer.
What?
Atron and Hummer. And we're here with the Thor's Bedroom, a hot new podcast for the Minnesota Vikings. And if you want to keep talking shit about the coach or the quarterback or a corner that didn't do his route or whatever, or when Daniil Hunter's going to be back, you can go over to purplepainforums.com. Of course, we always show them some love because it is a good forum to hang out and chit-chat. I know I don't chit-chat much, but maybe I don't have much to say.
Great people on purplepainforums.com.
Yes, they are. They are. purplepainforums.com. Clack your keys over there and talk some shit or whatever you want to do. Be friendly. It's your choice.
I don't get on there as much as I would like to either.
Well, that's just because you don't get on the internet very often.
Yeah, I am on Purple Pain more than I'm on my own Facebook page.
Yeah, but just
There is
overall, you're not a big just sit in front of the computer type of guy unless you're doing something specific, like listening to a song or playing chess or something like that. But
Yeah, I use the internet to play chess a lot.
Right, right. When I'm home on a weekend, I'll just come sit in front of my computer for 2 hours. I'll watch some YouTube videos. I'll pay some bills. I'll work on a website, all this, all that. I mean, I could just dick around between social media, my business projects. I could just dick around.
You got
for
a Viking
couple hours.
podcast to be doing stuff with online too.
Oh, that's minimal. That's minimal effort, my friend.
Oh, okay.
I'll go down a YouTube hole of videos. I'll listen to podcasts, whatever, man. I love podcasts. That's why I'm doing one. Duh. Surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker.
I like the audio format. But yes, and let's also give a quick shout out to Purple Territory Radio, where you can listen to us and other good podcasts, and also VikingsTerritory.com. You said there's an article over there.
Vikings
about
Territory
Zimmer
had an article what the problem is with the Fire Mike Zimmer movement.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a really good article.
Hammer had a flash of inspiration to write an article, and then he was like, oh, wait, this better news source beat me to it.
It was the exact article I was thinking of.
Good job.
You blew it. Capiche?
Good job.
It makes so much sense. I mean,
We have hot off the press news here at Odin's Den, and you fucked up.
we need Zimmer around until the rookies learn to play. It's simple as that.
I mean, you could say that his play calling might be becoming stale. His older mentality might be becoming a little stale.
I don't really
we want a
think it
young
is,
head
though.
coach. You see these new young head coaches, they're mixing things up. They're doing different shit. They're not that old school mentality. They're trying different things. They're not afraid of stepping out of the conservative box. Some could argue that about Zimmer. Might be a little old school, might be a little bit more conservative. Actually, he was very aggressive in this game, wouldn't you say?
I would say so. I didn't.
Except for the time that he should have been, because some would argue should have been conservative and kicked that field goal.
Boy, there's a lot to get into in this game.
We will. All right. Anyway, enough of the shout-outs. PurplePaintForums.com. The other guys, check them out. We don't post any blog posts because, well, Hammer can't think of anything, and I can't type real good. So,
I'm not super good at typing either.
no, I'm just kidding. I'm fine at it.
But you're all right.
I just need to check my sentences and my spelling errors. Otherwise, sometimes I have decent thoughts, but then it's just getting them on paper and not looking like a fucking caveman is the problem. Anyway, all right. So there literally isn't any news to talk about, I don't think. Daniil Hunter is still sitting out. He went for a second opinion in New York City. That would have been a good time to have that drop, but I don't. Kind of like Sammy Biscuits did with his bone bruise. And then, of course, he never came back after his trip to New York. But Daniil's, I'm pretty sure that the consensus, and he's being advised to not to sit the rest of the season out. It is like a vertebrae or a disc in his neck. Very serious, very thing to not be rushed. Shitty season anyway. I say, take a seat.
100% agree.
Take a seat, my friend. All right. I don't think there's any other news, coronavirus news for the Vikings. Anything like that. So let's just dive into the game, I guess.
Interesting game. Tale of two halves.
Hey, what have I always said, motherfucker? Flip that switch, baby. So this game, first half would have been the up, second half would have been the down, right?
I'm not sure how much of that had anything to do with halftime adjustments as opposed to Dalvin Cook getting hurt.
Yeah, you're right. But I hate that so fucking much that we rely on one person so much, and then he has a groin injury, and we work the shit out of him, and it's working great, but he's running hard, he's running a lot, he fucking pops his groin a little bit, whatever the fuck, limps off the field. He's fairly okay, it doesn't seem that serious, but goes out of the game for the rest of the game. But I hate that he's gone, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh, what do we do? No, we can't move as well, even though Madison's great. It just felt like that took a little wind out of our sail, and the Seahawks were like, all right, let's fucking attack.
Yeah, that was more important than any halftime adjustment that was made on either side.
But I hate that.
The first series of the second half was a 3-and-out for the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah, they saw Dalvin get hurt, and it's just like Collinsworth was saying on the broadcast. They saw Dalvin get hurt, and they got a little energy from it.
Chum in the water, boy. Chum in the water.
That really only lasted a couple of possessions, because I would say after a couple of possessions, the Vikings, we ended up kind of working around it and getting over it and everything, making some adjustments to help cover, Cook's absence, but those couple of possessions ended up being huge, though.
Yeah, I
What was it,
mean,
21 points in a minute 53.
Yeah.
Ugh.
The whole first half, though, if you want to look at the halves, our first whole half was great. In the first quarter, we had a touchdown and a field goal. They just had one punt. In the second quarter, we had a punt and a field goal. They just had 2 punts. This was a great 10-0 game for quite a while. I mean, this was.
Oh yeah.
This was dominating. We looked like the Vikings of old. Our offense was clicking. Our defense was clicking. I was like, hey, we got the team back. What's going on? Gary Kubiak. And we're away against a very good team who hasn't even taken a loss yet. It's like, what? Are we going to pull this out of our ass? It was an interesting one, though.
Well, see, this is what an offense moving the football can do to help a young defense, because I mean, we had a couple guys on defense that didn't have a really good game yesterday, but yeah, you can help mask some of those deficiencies with the offense just moving the ball.
Put on your mask. Put on your Michael Myers mask. It's almost Halloween.
But
or your natural mask.
We did also have a couple of really good performances from some defenders, too.
Eric Wilson.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Wilson had a great game.
Yeah, if we had won this game, we would have given the game ball to Eric Wilson for sure.
I love the Eric twins in the backfield there.
Yeah, Kendricks and Wilson.
They're both holding it down. The Eric Towers, as I call them.
Twin
Twin
Kendricks
Towers.
had a great game, too.
The Twin Towers of Eric Power, yeah. They were looking good. You know what? Let's talk about the defense first. Let's change
defense
it up.
first this time, okay.
Defense first, yeah. Let's talk about the D. The D. Did we get some sacks? We got some sacks. We got 4 sacks, man. James Lynch, who the hell? Is he Jane Lynch's son?
I doubt it.
And Afadi got a sack, and Eric got a sack. It was a great defensive game.
Well, it's more impressive because schematically our D-line had the most asked of them this game. I mean, it's just like the opposite. If you go into a game where you're trying to take the run away, you're bringing guys to the line. That means you're kind of asking a lot of your corners. You're saying, hey, you guys cover your receiver one-on-one the whole game. Like you're demanding a lot from your corners,
which are new, unexperienced
if
corners.
you try to take the run away. This is a game we tried to take the pass away because we were keeping guys back, playing coverage the whole time. So Zimmer essentially was asking our D-line to play the run and put pressure on Russell Wilson. And for the most part, they did it.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Our D-line played well.
They did. They did. And I always knew they had it in them. It just took a few games to click, I guess, or kind of.
Well, Zimmer's play calling this game, I thought, was pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Just about the whole game. I mean,
most of it.
There are a couple plays, like Seahawks, I remember, tried a little screen pass, and Eric Wilson was just all over it. And yeah, I thought Zimmer, most of the game, he beat Pete Carroll on the chalkboard.
Are you sure?
I thought so.
Yeah.
The play calling, yeah.
Yeah.
There were some execution issues.
Well,
here
Pete's
and there,
not calling defensive plays, but I don't know if he's calling any plays, is he? Because I know they got a D coordinator that's calling their D plays.
Well, Pete Carroll is an offensive coach.
Yeah. That doesn't mean he's calling the plays.
Okay, I guess I'm not 100% who calls the plays for the Seahawks.
Don't be a liar, Hammer.
Well, I thought Pete Carroll did, but maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
Don't be a liar now.
Well, I'm not. It's their offensive mind against our defensive mind, so there you go.
You're right. Well, their offensive mind didn't look too hot.
Don't falsely accuse me of lying over there, A-Train.
I love how the teams pretty much just switched. They're supposed to be, well, they usually have a good offense and defense, but we're well known for our defense, and it played great, but they could not stop our offense in our run game for most of this game. And their defense, our defense stopped their offense, and their defense could not stop ours.
Yeah, we were actually forcing some punts and getting off the field.
I'll get my thoughts together eventually. Yeah.
That would be appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
So our D-line played well. Linebackers played very well. Kendricks and Eric Wilson, both studs.
Corners
yesterday.
did serviceable.
But
corners, I wouldn't brag about them.
I mean, see, the thing is, I think Dantzler he really just had a couple of plays that he looked really bad. But Jeff Gladney was kind of up and down, but was sort of okay. And Holton Hill, this was his best game of the year, I think, because we didn't see him. He kept getting torched.
Right.
In that Texans game.
Holden Hill, he keeps holding people.
But the Zimmer was kind of trying to protect the corners as much as he could. So, because I know they had most plays, they had Harrison Smith and Anthony Harris just back, two high safeties.
Yep.
Making sure they don't get beat deep.
Unless they're trying to do a fake blitz with Harry, and then he doesn't have enough time to catch up and help.
Yeah. Well, the Seahawks like to throw it a lot, so it makes sense.
Yeah. You're right. All right. Well, any other comments about the defense, I guess, overall, besides the fairly solid performance? Probably the best defensive game of the year, I'd say.
I would say so, too.
Yeah.
I mean, holding down Russell Wilson as well as our defense did, not easy. I mean, shoot,
he still gashed us a few times.
He did, but, I mean, getting what should have been a game-winning interception just about in the fourth quarter. I mean, when was the last time you remember Russell Wilson throwing a pick late in the fourth quarter?
You're right.
And Eric Wilson makes a play on the ball and sets us up, and we came just this close to finishing it out. Oh, no, hats off to the defense. And you know what? Hats off to Zimmer. I thought his play calling was pretty good.
All right. Some people want him fired, but all right, we'll take your word for it, Hammer.
I don't think firing Zimmer is the right move right now. That's just me.
Didn't he just sign a contract within the last year?
Well, so did Brad Childress, though. I mean, the reality of that is all that does is it just costs the owner money.
Right.
If we fire him right after extension.
You just kind of got egg on your face. That's about it.
The owner would just, like Brad Childress had just signed an extension. And that extension at the time, I was like, what?
God, I hate Childress.
Yeah, well, then we fired him. I forget if it was less than a year into that extension or if it was the second year in. But, yeah, pretty early into his extension, we got rid of him.
Never been a big fan.
But I would say don't fire Zimmer, at least not yet. We need to get the defense built back up, get those guys coached.
And then can his ass.
Well, then maybe think about moving on.
Apparently he has a really attractive girlfriend. Did you see that?
I did.
The hearsay on the internet. I don't know if I believe it, but he's probably just looking forward to retiring if that's his girlfriend.
Yeah, those are rumors.
All right, let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Kirky Boy looked fairly solid. 27 for 39, 249 yards, 2 TDs, and a pick. So he's only gotten one game without a pick. Don't really like that, but
that was a bad pick.
Yeah, it was it was really stupid.
That play, it looked like Justin Jefferson was wide open for a good 2 or 3 seconds before Cousins threw it, and he essentially waited for Jefferson to run into KJ Wright, and then he threw it.
Right.
He saw that way too late.
Kirk, he's not good at scrambling. He's not good at scanning the field. What is he good at? Tossing the ball deep? I don't know. Is he good at that?
Well, he's an accurate passer when everything
is perfect,
is clicking around him. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's what he's good at.
The statue.
He's good at executing a play if it's working. That's what he's good at.
Oh, thanks, Captain Obvious.
Well, you're welcome.
But yeah, he did throw one pick. He fumbled twice and lost one of them.
Well, see that fumble.
Both of those where he was kind of throwing at the time. One was way shittier than the other at the very end of the game.
Well, the last play of the game was an incomplete pass.
Yes, it was.
That was not a fumble.
Pretty weird ending.
The referees just messed that one up. The other one, I think, was a fumble. I mean, the ball moved forward because he essentially pushed it with his arm.
Right.
After he lost the ball.
Right.
It was the same play as that Aaron Rodgers play in Lambeau 5 years ago when we won the division.
Mm-hmm.
Last play of the year, they had a play like that where he didn't have the ball. He kind of pushed it after he lost possession of it. So,
right.
I mean, that's a fumble.
Yeah, there's a pretty big difference between losing possession and having it kind of come out of your hand as if it were
getting hit as you throw.
Right.
That's different than...
It could be a sloppy throw, but there's a fairly cut and, line in the sand, cut and dry, difference, I think. I mean, there's some gray area there, but for the most part, it's it's either fairly pretty much coming off your hand where it was when you were throwing it, or it's just totally gone and you lost possession. I mean, it's not even in your hand anymore, obviously.
Cousins, he wasn't asked to do a whole lot either, though, really. Now, we were running the football and
sure wasn't
kind of trying to let Kirk just throw some safe short passes for the most part, which, I'm okay with that.
I'm almost surprised he got 250 yards for how many times Cook carried the ball, but
when you have the ball for almost 40 minutes, you're going to get a lot of guys getting some yards.
Can you believe that Madison had more carries than Cook?
Well, yeah. I mean, because of that last drive. How many did Madison have that last drive? Like 8?
Yeah, true.
That last drive alone, shoot.
He had Cook did end up with 17, which he pretty much
carries.
all put in the first half.
All first half, yep.
And then Madison had 20 total. Madison led with 20 carries, 112 yards, average 5.6, which is fantastic. Cook was 17 carries, 65 yards, 1 TD, and 3.8 a carry.
Well, I think that yards per carry average that Madison had, I think Madison benefited from the Seahawks defense being tired.
Yeah.
A lot of that was late in the game when he was just gashing them because they had nothing left.
So it's garbage time average yards, if you will.
I mean, well, that's not the right term for it, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I can't say anything right today. I'm just mumbling over here.
That's why we love you.
Mike Boone was out there, 2 carries, 19 yards, 9.5 per. Woo-woo.
Yeah, go Boone.
Yeah, go Boone. Boone's a little bit of Boone's farm. Kirk Cousins had 1 carry for 2 yards like an idiot. What was
that play? I'm trying to remember which
that was
play
the worst
was.
play of the game, man. That was the worst play of the game. Well, that was the 2-point conversion, wasn't it?
No, because if he would have got 2 yards, isn't the 2-point conversion from the 2-yard line? I think that would have been a different play during the game.
What was the one when we handed off to Kirk and he just didn't go anywhere?
Well, the 2-point conversion we called a quarterback draw.
Right.
And
that was the worst play of the game, I think.
Well, that was probably the dumbest play call.
Yes. Thanks, Kubiak.
I don't know. Kubiak's play calling
anybody.
I thought was pretty solid this game too, actually.
Except for a couple.
Here and there, some small complaints, yeah.
But nobody's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, with the way things work in the NFL, it's just the number of plays there are and the number of opportunities every coach has to fuck up. Yeah, for the number of limited amount of fuck ups we had, play calling was good on both sides.
For the most part.
I would say so.
For the most part. Receiving, Thielen led, of course, 9 for 13, 80 yards and 2 TDs. Irv Smith was 4 for 5, 64 yards. Dalvin was in third place. He was 5 for 5 with 24 yards. Nobody else got a TD. It was just Thielen's 2 TDs receiving. So,
well, the touchdowns, there can be some pretty big variance for that game to game.
That's right.
I don't really care if one guy gets a bunch of touchdowns in one game because sometimes that's just how it's going to work. I just want the targets to be spread out as evenly as possible.
And they really weren't in this game, though. Jefferson was 3 for 5 with 23 yards. We tried to get it to him a little bit, but I wish he would have been in there more. BC was 1 for 1. We barely used him at all. BB was out there, but he was only 1 for 2 with 11 yards.
Converted a big third down on that opening drive.
He did, and that was his 1 for 2.
Sure.
Rudy was 1 for 2 as well with 10 yards. He was pretty much non-existent.
Yeah, he was there to block.
Yeah, we tried to throw to CJ Ham in the end zone. You remember that?
I do.
Remember that? He was 0 for 2 with 0 yards, but it's good to see him get involved. I feel like there should have been more involvement there with BC and BB. I think BC and BB are going to be great additions too. Great additions.
Chad
to
BB
use.
has always struck me as just the ideal third down slot receiver.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
So let's see it happen.
He should be. All right, let's talk about the O-line.
Well, Drew Samia is really the only talking point there this game.
They actually did all right, though, right? They did a lot of zone.
Yeah, the O-line, I thought, did a reasonably good job of run blocking.
I mean, obviously they were doing something right if Dalvin was doing so damn good in that first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, part of it is Dalvin setting up his blocks, too.
Yeah.
the zone scheme, you do need a good running back. I mean, it is kind of dependent on that. But for what you ask an offensive line to do in a zone scheme, for the most part, this game we did it outside of Samia.
They were doing the dang thing, yeah.
How many penalties did that guy have? Like 4?
At least 3 personal himself,
Oh.
yeah. At least 3 personal. Yeah, and even Dozier. I mean, I would see him, and I thought he was serviceable. I would see him holding his guys back. He wasn't getting fucking trucked over. He wasn't getting pushed around. He's a big boy, and I had my eye on him in a few plays. He was just holding his own, so I was like, okay, good. That's good to see, not just getting ran by, pancaked, fucking just look like you're standing still as the D-line is. But their D-line isn't that strong either. I don't think Seahawks is it.
Jaron Reed is a really good player. And I don't have my thumb on the pulse of Seattle exactly, but
What the hell? I thought you were a coffee hipster. You literally love Seattle's best coffee.
I do.
Wow.
I'm not super familiar with their D-line. I feel like their inside D-line is pretty good. They have Jaron Reed and Poona Ford.
Yeah.
Jaron Reed was running roughshod on Samia the whole game.
Yep.
Ugh. But he is a good player.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They just wanted to keep Kirk down, locked down.
Keep him in the fucking pocket. You got me?
Settle down, Zimmer. Settle down. God.
Well,
So speaking of Samia, who do you think gets this week's golden turd of the game?
Drew Samia. Well, I
blew
give
it.
it to
Bish.
I give it to Samia. How about you?
Yes, Drew Samia, 1,000%. I don't know who I'd pick after that, but yes, Drew is my number one, and not in a good way.
That'd be an interesting. Yeah, if you didn't go with Samia, who would you give the toilet bowl to? God, I mean his performance stands out so much as far as being just bad.
I would want to say
Maybe-
Kirk, but I don't even really want to say Kirk after Drew.
Well, maybe Dantzler for
Yeah.
making some rough. I mean, he didn't make a good play on the ball at all. That fourth and
one
10.
of those corners could definitely be subject to debate, if you will.
Yeah, it has to be Samia.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
It wouldn't be any of the coaches. I saw in the Purple Pain forums they were kind of asking the same thing, like who gets the deflated ball. It's one of the threads they have.
If it's an individual,
Well, and the number one choice on that was Zimmer. Like the most people voted for Zimmer to get the deflated ball.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, people I guess are disagreeing with his 4th and 1, like going for it. Man, that was the right call, I thought. Well, what do you think? I mean, it's 4th and 1, or actually it was 4th and inches, I think. 4th and inches. You pick up that first down, the game is over. You don't give Russell Wilson the ball back again.
Correct.
Game is over if you can get a yard.
I have no problem with him going for it, and he's been defending it publicly. And what I've
good.
seen makes
That's good.
sense. Oh yeah, he has.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to back down from that. He should. That was absolutely the right decision in my mind to go for it. I don't even have a problem with the play call there. Just
Right.
handing it to Madison. I mean, we were gashing them on the ground that whole drive. We
Right.
ran it like, 9 plays in a row or 10 plays in a row. And it was brilliant because they were so gassed. It's like there's no reason to throw a pass. Why would we risk Cousins throwing a pick here?
But Madison kind of fucked up.
Well, that 4th and inches, Madison.
He kind of ran into, was that Drew? He kind of ran into an O-lineman
Yeah.
and then just kind of didn't get far and fell down. And I was like, what? He
And
could have went to the right a little bit.
It looked like if he would have cut it outside, he would have had the first. I'm good with the play. Well, shoot, the play before that, it was an end around to Thielen that almost got the first down. It was like 3rd and 4, and
No, that one didn't go too hot.
it was
Could have
3rd
been
and
better.
4. He got it to within a yard or whatever. He
Yeah.
almost got it. It was a little razzle dazzle, something different, but it was still a running play.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I definitely don't mind us going for it. You could argue. I mean, for the rest of the game, I was like, should have had that 3 points because now we wouldn't be sitting too bad.
the Seahawks D was just exhausted by then. Going for it was absolutely the right call there.
I think they even showed stats on the screen, and even the stats were on Zimmer's side of going for it. Like the historic
missed
stats in that position.
Yeah, I missed that exact stat, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, like even that said, just why not? What's there to fucking lose here? But I mean, it's
Well, if you kick the field goal, you do go up by 8.
Every point counts, man.
I mean, if you kick the field goal, you do go up by 8. But I mean, you got to remember Russell Wilson is just a generational type of quarterback. He's that good. If we had kicked the field goal, there was no doubt in my mind the Seahawks would have tied it.
Right.
You know, I didn't want Russell Wilson to get the football back again this game.
But I'd rather have them rely on that 2-point conversion, which are easier said than done.
Well, I'd rather Russell Wilson not get the ball back.
Well, yeah. True.
I say you go for it. 4th and inches, you go for it. So I am 100% behind Zimmer on that. I will die on that hill.
Well, he will too, I think.
Well, maybe. I don't know. If he gets fired for that.
You two can dig your graves together.
I will, my dying breath, I will agree with Zimmer's decision there.
All right.
Well, I don't know. What do you think on that?
Well, when you looked at the end of it, and then you're like, well, if we would have had those extra 2 points or that extra 3 points, we'd be winning right now. But it's always hindsight, man. It's always easy to say.
I mean, you know what? If we had kicked the field goal and then they tied it up and it went to overtime,
and then they don't get the 2-point conversion,
then everyone would have.
Yeah.
Well, then everyone would have said, "Oh, he should have gone for it and just ended it right there."
And it's a lose-lose, man. It's a fucking lose-lose for Zimmer.
It's kind of a 50-50 decision, so I mean, there's going to be a lot of argument about it. I mean, the two friends I was watching the game with last night, Big B and Durrell, they both thought kicking the field goal was the right move.
And most people think Zimmer does like to play it safe. But in that scenario, he did not play it safe.
That's been a complaint
with
Viking fans with Zimmer, is that he's too conservative and he plays it safe too much.
Well, there you go. He
tried. He went for 4th and 1 3 times this game.
Yep.
So there you go.
Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. You son of a bitch.
Keep him in the fucking pocket. You got me?
Yeah, don't make him mad. Do not make him mad.
I like that drop. Play that one more time.
All right. Jeez.
Keep him in the fucking pocket. You got me?
You could just hear the spit coming off of his angry lips. All right. So, well, let's talk about the score here, shall we?
Oh, yes.
I don't know where my pen went, but, I think I won another prediction game here.
I might have a pen.
Vikings 26, Seahawks 27 last week. Thanks.
There you go.
Covered
Use my pen.
Coronavirus. Ugh. I said the Vikings would win 26-24. Wow, I guess the score exactly. That should be an automatic victory. And you guessed Seahawks win 27-20. It's funny how you predicted theirs exactly and them winning, and I predicted ours exactly and us winning. Oh, but alas, you were off by way worse than me. So,
second time this year I've gotten the winning team right. You've gotten it wrong, but you still had a closer score. Well, with closer games, that can happen.
A-Train win. A-Train. That's 3 in a row. Or is it 4 in a row?
I think it's 4 in a row. Yeah. You have 4 and I have 1.
Oh, just like our score.
It's getting to be
1 and 4.
Yeah, getting to be do or die for me.
You're like the Minnesota Vikings right now. You're 1 and 4, bud.
Well, it's my turn to pick first.
Oh yeah, shit. All
this
right.
week we're playing Atlanta Falcons next week. I am going to predict a Viking win.
The Falcons.
I predict the Vikings are going to beat the Falcons next week, 34-17.
Vikings 34.
Falcons 17. Yes.
Wow. You're giving way too much credit to that defense. Way too
Well, maybe.
much credit.
Well, I know the Falcons just fired Dan Quinn and their GM. I'm blanking on his name at the moment. But,
Oh, that's what you're banking on, huh?
well, yeah. Well, even if they still had him, I would have predicted a win. Maybe not that much of a blowout.
I'm going to go a little bit closer to the vest.
Okay.
34 is a lot of points. Dalvin might sit out that game. The Falcons probably don't have that great of a defense, but I'm going to say, just to be a little spaced out from you, I'm going to say that I'm going to say solid 26 again.
Okay.
26. And I'm going to say that the Falcons are going to put up, let's say they do 24.
Picking the exact same score. Okay.
Oh, shit, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fine. 26
Well,
to
I
24.
want to be different enough from you, but
All right.
I'm pretty sure we're going to win at home. It's next Sunday. It's a nooner, Fox, in U.S. Bank Stadium. Sunday, October 18th.
Well, if
Be
I don't
there.
win next week, it's just about over.
Yeah, you might as well just fucking tank for Firehouse Trevor sandwiches.
Well, if I can win back-to-back weeks, like if I can get this score prediction with the Falcons game and then get the next one, be back to like 3-4, then maybe we can start talking about having a challenge again. I mean, right now, you're just killing me in this.
26-24, Vikings 26, Falcons 24, and you got 34-17.
Yep.
I play the game.
Must win for me.
This is just business. This is just sandwich business.
Yeah, I want that sub.
Well, not looking too good.
It's not looking good right now, but give me a week. We'll see what happens.
Not looking good. You're going to pony up real quick.
Bitch better have my money.
So
I'm
we'll
good
see.
for it. You know
We'll
that.
see. Yeah. All right. Yeah, tune into that Falcons game, the 18th. It's another nooner. After that, we got the bye week. Then hopefully we can grate some cheese over in Lambeau Field. Then it's just a string of NFC North. We got the Packers, Lions, Bears, oh my, blah, blah, blah. I haven't heard that 1,000 fucking times. But yes, so let's focus on the Falcons. Then it's the hardest week of all, the bye week versus the hot tub. But yes, all right. Anything else about the Seahawks game or the Falcons game or anything else, Amber?
Just a typical Viking fashion, the way that ended. Oof.
Do good and then lose at the end.
Yeah, losing at the end. I mean, I do like the time of possession.
A game that you played well in, that you fucking deserve the win. You just, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but we were 6 of 14 on third down, and the Seahawks were 0 for 7. How do you lose that game?
Yeah, let's go through the team stats real quick to
wow.
feel worse about ourselves. I mean, rushing yards, we had 201. They had 124. I mean, we dominated them in passing yards, 248 to 190. I mean,
First downs, yardage, time of possession, third downs.
they did beat us in average yards per play, period, with 6.0 to 5.4. Whoop-de-zing. We both threw a pick. We lost a fumble. They didn't.
I guess the turnover battle, the Seahawks won 2-1.
Yeah, I don't really feel like that's part of the problem, but yeah, that third down efficiency, we dominated. Time of possession, would you call 19 minutes more dominating?
Yes.
Penalties, we had 6, they had 3, but yeah, I mean, should have won it, earned it, played great, both sides of the ball, in their home turf. Man.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
We needed that. We needed that. Just like you needed in the score prediction game. We needed that win, man. We needed that real bad. But
Yeah, Vikings are 1-4 now.
what's going to happen, man? Are we even going to get 500, man?
I could see us finishing 8-8. Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably at this point, that's like a
best case scenario is 8-8.
glimmering, shining hope in the skies.
Although most Viking fans now are just starting to hope we lose every game so we get better draft picks.
We're not going to do it on purpose, though. If we suck, we'll lose. But we're not going to sit people and
we're not going to be
like,
tanking at
yeah,
all.
just let him catch the pass. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's bullshit.
Yeah, no, that won't
Get the fuck
happen.
out of here with that shit.
Sure.
Get out of here.
I'm getting out.
Yeah, you and everybody else, get out. Get out of this beautiful studio I built with my bare hands. All
you
right.
did not.
Get out of here. I love my new
fitting
toilet
drop.
flush. Yeah, I love my new toilet flush. All right. Tune in next week for another rousing episode. Oh, and we'll probably be back during the bye week with some pre-recorded segments. Player focus. Probably do a player focus, maybe 2 since it's been so long.
Yeah, we haven't been doing that.
We haven't.
We got to bring the player focus back.
I got to get off my lazy ass. And you should write a blog post or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I'll try to think of something.
Earn your keep around here so you can have that cot in the back still.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
you're
where are
right.
you going to sleep? Under the turnpike?
Not earning that $0 salary I'm getting.
Thank you for listening in. Thank you for telling a friend if you did. This has been episode 115. Of course, check us out online, Odin's Den podcast.com, but we are a podfart. We have a Facebook, a Twitter, an Instagram. And yes, our website's better than other podcast websites. I'll just be the first to say it. Anyway.
Hammer out.
Any final words, you ruffian of the...
I beat you to it. Hammer out.
All right. Have a good rest of your October 12th, everybody. Halloween's fast approaching. Go get spooky out there.
Thank you for listening to Odin's Den. Be sure to follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. Get all of the latest at odinsdenpodcast.com. SKOL!